All right, good morning everyone. Welcome to the ordinary meeting of the Douglas Shire Council being held on Tuesday 29th of November 22 at the Mosman Council Chambers. This ordinary meeting of the Council is being live streamed on Council's website and also available for others to watch at a later time. I'd like to acknowledge the Goolga Yalanji people who are the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet and also pay respect to their elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to other Indigenous Australians who may be listening or watching our meeting this morning. I note that all councillors are present. We have our CEO and we have staff here. There's no one in the gallery today. Conflicts of interest, councillors? Nothing to report. So it takes us to the minutes of the last meetings of the meeting held on the 25th of October 2022. Do we have a mover for this one, please? Thank you, Councillor McEwen. Seconded by Councillor Scomerson. Any comments? All those in favour? And that's carried unanimously. We then have the minutes from the special meeting held on the 31st of October 22. We have a mover for this one, please. Councillor Nolly, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Zamataro. Any comments on that one? No, we'll put it to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Sorry,
Carried unanimously.
that was my fault. I asked him.
All right, not a problem.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes us through to officers' reports on the agenda. Our first one we have is the financial report. October 22. The recommendation is the Council notes the financial reports comprising of the Statement of Comprehensive Income and Statement of Financial Position for October 22. Do we have a mover for this one, please? Yes, Councillor Nolly. Seconded by Councillor Scomerson, thank you. Councillor Nolly, would you like to speak to it?
It's not necessary, thank you. Thanks very much, Ms. Colleen.
Anyone wish to speak against? Any other comments from councillors?
Just one comment. The operating surplus is currently 5.5 million compared to a budget surplus of 4.3. I'm assuming by our figures that that's, just to explain to the community, that's all, that it's our material and services costs.
Sorry about that. Thanks, Councillor Scomerson. Yes, the result is ahead by 1.2 million at the end of October, and there are various reasons for that. One of which is the materials and services. Some of the materials and services are ahead of budget due to timing. We have got in and done a lot of the works early. However, there are also the increased costs from inflation that are affecting things. So we're actually doing our budget review at the moment, and we're looking very closely at what that figure needs to be. We've gone line by line with the staff. Other issues causing us to be ahead at the end of October, we had a lift in our FAG grant, and which was more than expected. So we'll be factoring that in as well. We've had a lift in interest due to interest rates lifting ahead of budget. We've got a little bit of rates property growth in there. Our ferry is doing very well. We've had a bumpy year with tourists, obviously, this year. And depreciation, we also had an adjustment by the audit to reduce the life of the landfill, Killaloe landfill, so that we had a pretty significant saving in depreciation there as well. And that will be ongoing. So we'll factor all of those into our budget review that we're working on now.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no other comments, Councillor Nolly, no closing comments?
No, thank you.
We'll put it to the vote then. All those in favour? And that's carried unanimously. 5.2. The Daintree Ferry Infrastructure Quarterly Report ending September 2022. The recommendation is the Council receives and notes the Daintree Ferry Infrastructure Project Quarterly Report for the period August to September 22. Do we have a mover to get this up?
I'll move it.
Councillor Scomerson, seconded by Councillor Nolly. Councillor Scomerson? Open.
Yeah, I would. I've got a couple of questions, which I suppose you're expecting. Sorry. Now, with some of the information on here, first of all, in the program timelines, we've got here that the vessel design commenced at April. Oh, sorry, I've lost my spot. Hang on,
23.
I've just got to find. The vessel design and procurement commenced. Will commence in 2023, and so with that, will we be given some details prior to that commencement of exactly how we're going to go? Would we know in our project?
Through you, Mayor, I'm happy to take that question, Deputy Mayor. Yes, the team's been working in the background over the last couple of months around exactly what the program of work looks like to workshop that extensively in the new year with councillors around a whole raft of different options. So that work will be coming to you, we're thinking probably about February, we'll start kicking that off.
Yeah.
And we're just designing that at the moment. So once we understand what the program of work looks like, I can share that with councillors.
Yeah, great, thank you. And the other thing is, the project budget life to date is $764,000. Now, when we look at the figures here, it's saying it's $170,216 total to date. So the other 590,000 odd, have we got that? Do we got any explanation of, or can we have those figures on what that was spent on? Or am I reading that wrong, that 764,000? Is that the budget for the whole project, or is that just to date?
So, through the chair, the $764,000 budget is for this financial year that we're currently in, and that is for the initiation costs for the project and some of the planning and the exploratory works that we'll be undertaking this financial year around geotechnical investigations. We've started that last week, and then we'll be moving to engaging an environmental consultant to give us advice on the SARA report, and then we'll move to a civil design, and that's all part of the costings for this financial year.
This financial year, okay. Maybe we need to just show that in the report. It's for this financial year, because I just thought it might have been from the very beginning right up to today. That's all, before this financial year.
Through the chair, the 764 is the amount remaining.
No, that's the amount for this financial year.
It's the amount for this financial year. Sorry, so it's not project budget to line.
No, that's fine. It's okay. The other thing is the risk management implications. I just would think that one of our major risks would be the application for permits.
Yeah, through the chair, that would be a major risk.
Yeah.
We're actually engaging an environmental consultant that will undertake all the discussions with SARA and the government agencies to attain those applications and permits for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it comes with a risk of a location like that it may take 2 months, but it may take 3 years.
Yeah.
We don't know until we actually start those discussions with those government agencies.
Yeah. So we will put that in the risk management in this table as well, eventually.
Yeah, through the chair, that is correct. The risks that are identified at the present time are more around their on-site risks, but that does need to be added as well. But we'll have that discussion once we engage with our environmental consultant and add to that.
Yeah, that needs further discussion on that one, but I think we'll do that in the workshop. Yeah, thank you for that.
All right, so anyone wish to speak against the report? Any other comments or questions for the report? Okay, that then we'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? And that's carried unanimously. Thank you. Our next one's 5.3, contract WO 5964.1 resale program. The recommendation is that council resolves to enter into contract WO 5964.1 with Pioneer North Queensland Poultry Limited, ABN 068203734 to the value of $419,344.20 GST exclusive, and then delegates authority under section 2571B of the Local Government Act 2009 to the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate, finalise and execute any and all matters associated with the contract. Do you have a mover for this one, please?
I'll move it.
Yep, got Councillor Scomerson and Councillor Zamatari. Did you second it then? Yep. Councillor Zamatari seconds. Councillor Scomerson, would you like to speak to it?
No, it's all good, thank you.
Anyone wish to speak against? Anyone else wish to speak for? All right, we'll put that to the vote then. All those in favour? And that's carried unanimously. Thank you. .4 is the tender for Killaloe landfill leachate carting. The recommendation is the Council awards contract 2023-029 Killaloe landfill leachate carting to Marin Proprietary Limited, ABN 480108892337 for $400,000 GST exclusive, and then delegates authority under S257 of the Local Government Act 2009 to the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate, finalise and execute any and all matters in relation to this contract. Do we have a mover for this one? Councillor Norley, thank you. Seconded by Councillor McEwen. Councillor Norley, would you like to speak to it?
No, thank you, that's fine.
Anyone wish to speak against? Any other comments from councillors? Questions? We'll put that to the vote then. All those in favour? And that's carried unanimously as well. Thank you. 5.5 on the agenda today is Council Landowner Consent, 69 Tea Tree Road, Taiwan, Daintree Coast Community Shed Incorporated Material Change of Use. The recommendation is the Council provides landowner consent for a development application for a material change of use, Community Facility Activity Club for Daintree Coast Community Shed Incorp at 69 Tea Tree Road, Taiwan, more particularly described as Lot 45 on RP 739764, to allow the application to be considered a properly made development application under the Planning Act 2016, and then delegates authority to the Chief Executive Officer under S257 of the Local Government Act 2009 to finalise all matters in relation to the above. Do you have a mover for this one, please? Councillor Scomerson, seconded by... Sorry.
Yep.
Councillor Nolly? Yep, lovely, thank you. Councillor Scomerson, did you wish to speak to it?
So the proposed site is right down the corner down here. I know they've got their DA in, and that's what's on their DA. So we're going to approve, is it the whole site that we're going to approve, or just that little bit up the corner?
So, through the chair, this is merely the first stage
Yeah.
to enable the development application to be lodged and considered by the planning officers. And in relation to the siting, that would be up to the planning officers to discuss with the applicant and go through the whole planning process.
Yeah.
So this is not to approve any such siting, it's more just to enable a properly made development application to be considered and go through the stages under the
right.
Planning Act.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone wish to speak against? Anyone else wish to speak for? No. Okay, with that then we shall put it to the vote. All those in favour? And that's carried unanimously as well. That is the end of those. And then there's a petition that has been put through, was presented to the staff, and the recommendation is the petition regarding a public transport in the Douglas Shire be received by council. Is there a mover for this one?
I'll move it.
Councillor Scomerson, I'm happy to second this one. Being a petition, it's just the case of us accepting it. There's no discussions, etc. on it. So, councillors, we can put that to the vote. If everyone's happy just for it to be received by council, we'll put it to the vote. And that's carried unanimously. All right, so that's the end of the agenda items, and we shall call the meeting